A prominent age grade in Ijebu land, Egbe Bobakeye Ọkùnrin Akilẹ̀ Ijebu, has set the record straight on the visit of the late Queen Elizabeth II of England to Nigeria, particularly Ijebu land, in 1956. The age grade said the wrong narrative being circulated on the social media about the visit of the Queen is false and unsubstantiated.
On behalf of Egbe Bobakeye, I, the Giwa, can now state categorically and indisputably that our own Ule Egbe, which used to be the residence of the British resident in Ijebu, was the venue where the Queen had lunch. This record unequivocally debunked any claim that Her Majesty spent the night in Ijebu because she left for Lagos after visiting the Awujale at Itoro and having lunch at our present Ulegbe. This is the present location we are now.
Addressing journalists at the Egbe, which was the residence of the colonial head of the old Ijebu province, now housing the Egbe Bobakeye, Giwa Biodun Ononuga explained that the late Queen Elizabeth II did not sleep in the house of the late Ogbeni of Ijebu land and famous industrialist Chief Timothy Adeola Odutola during the visit, but visited the residence of the colonial master to have a lunch, thereafter left for Lagos. Giwa Biodun Ononuga said that the foremost age grade, while embarking on the journey to clear the air on the unnecessary distortion of history and confusions being branded about to preserve the integrity of the highly diligent and resourceful people, commissioned two of its members to approach the British colonial archive to research on this controversial history and dig out the truth, which examined a well-compiled information of Her Majesty's travel, meticulously detailing every point of her official visit to a few parts of the world, western region of Nigeria, including where she had lunches, and did not record that Her Majesty slept in the house of the famous industrialist Chief Timothy Adeola Odutola during the visit.
The document shows the itinerary of Her Majesty's visit to Ijebu by road from Ibadan on the 15th day of February 1956 and had lunch at Ulegbe, the residence, and never visited any other place in Ijebu before leaving for Lagos via Shagamu, and didn't stop anywhere until arriving Lagos on the same day. Only 3 towns were visited in the old western region: Abeokuta, Ibadan, and Ijebu, according to the records. This is a clear indication of the importance of Ijebu town, the Awujale, and his people to Her Majesty and the people of England. This should lay to rest, in particular, the claim and speculations that she slept overnight in Chief Timothy Adeola Odutola's house. The fact, based on the British government record, is that the Queen never visited Chief Odutola's house, and any reports suggesting otherwise are not factual.
In law, whatever you say is oral, but whatever you present as a document becomes an evidence. So the deepness of that was to go through the British National Archives, where everything is being stored. They have millions and millions of information to dissect from, not only from Nigeria. When we now filter down to Ijebu province, you know it's going to take quite a lot of information. Assigning us with this job wasn't that easy, but we want to see to the end to ensure that everything that we said, here today is truth and nothing but the truth.
It's very important that records should be accurate and that historical facts should not be distorted. And the efforts that Egbe Bobakeye has made to get the actual facts of the the late Queen's visit to Nigeria, I think it's very, very important, and it should be kept in the proper perspective. It should be circulated, it should be kept documented in the Ministry of Information, also in our embassies in London and the Foreign Affairs Ministry in Nigeria.
As people of integrity, we should ensure that inaccuracies in the information put out regarding our land should be corrected. And that's what we have just done. And for the fact that our Egbe has some relevance regarding what we're talking about, and it was in fact a major motivation, because we know that Egbe served as the resident of the provincial office, the provincial head of Ijebu province. So we thought this building has some important historical value, and we thought anything that attaches to it has to bear facts. And that's why we came out. That if we are talking about where the late Queen of England spent a bit of time when she came visiting, Egbe was one. And that's why we thought, yes, we have to put it out there, to correct the facts, the inaccuracies.
He therefore called on the federal government to intensify efforts at preservation and documentation of the country history, such that it will be available for generation yet unborn. Yemi Dalemo reporting.